Hi guys, this is my first video and I'm going to be doing the new To Booktube Tag. I'm going to be linking down the original video down below. I know there's also a more popular version of the tag called the Booktube Newbie Tag. I felt these questions were a little kinder to me for having to do my first video and get comfortable in front of a camera. But if you guys are interested and you want me to try and do the other tag, just let me know. I'd be more than happy to try and do a film on that. But let's get started. Where are you joining us from? I am joining from Pennsylvania, closer to the Philadelphia area. However, I did originally come from Puerto Rico. I came up for college and I just stayed here for work, essentially. How old are you? I am 25, but as you can see with the things behind me, I'm still into Disney, video gaming. It keeps me young, I guess. Why did you join BookTube? I have the probably common issue that I've seen in other tags where I do have friends. They do read. However, predominantly I'm finding they either read manga or they don't read as frequently as I do. So there's a lot of book recommendations happening, but not a lot of conversation. So I'd like to change that, have a little bit of a change of pace. Want to try and do something new. I've been toying with the idea of a YouTube channel for a while, but ended up never really going for it, and I figured the booktube community is a little kinder to new people, so I figured we'd try it out. What is the meaning of your booktube name? I went with Do You Even Geek? Kind of a play on the, I remember there was a commercial going on for a while and a meme of Do You Even Lift Bro? And I figured Do You Even Geek? I'm hoping in the future to branch out not just into doing book reviews, things like that, but kind of doing some more geeky culture with anime, manga, things like that. And I also do cosplay, so I geek out in multiple different ways, and if you guys want to geek out with me, just stay tuned. What are the types of books you read? I tend to stick to fantasy. That is my preferred genre. I do go into sci-fi. I kind of go both ways as far as YA and adult. I read a kid's book. Harry Potter's originally considered middle grade, and I'm obsessed with it, so kind of goes either way. I'll read a little bit of anything. I guess scratch that. Not necessarily a little bit of anything. I'm not as big into romance. That's kind of not my kind of thing. Favorite authors? I have a couple. Growing up, my favorite authors were indubitably J.K. Rowling. I'm also a big fan of Tamora Pierce. I know she's writing again, or she's been writing, she's publishing again, so I'm definitely excited about that. I'm also a fan as far as in Spanish books, since that is my first language. My favorite author is Isabel Allende. Most recently, I have been introduced to Victoria Schwab / V.E. Schwab. As far as new author, she's my current favorite. Last book you read? The most recent manga that I read would be volume 20 of Naruto. My first time reading it. I'm trying to work my way through it. A friend has lent me her series, so thank you so much for that. But this is the most recent manga that I read as far as full-blown novel. Last book I read was Throne of Glass. This is recommended by a friend I made back at BookCon. It's very popular on BookTube. I hadn't gotten around to it, and I figured, you know what? Why not? New friend that I made recommended it, and that's kind of why I'm here also, just to meet new people and get more book recommendations. Currently reading. Currently I am reading, or just put the bookmark in, to read Zenith. This is my arc, the only arc that I got at BookCon. I got to meet both Sasha and Lindsay, and it was really nice to meet them, and I'm looking forward to trying this out. What do you use for bookmarks? Part of me feels like this is a trick question, but I do use bookmarks. I am flexible with the type of bookmarks I use, primarily when I go to anime conventions, although I love going through Artist Alley. Realistically, I can't buy as much artwork as I would like to support these artists, so a lot of times they will have things along the lines of little postcards or bookmarks of their same artwork, and I will buy those, both to support the artists and new bookmarks that's very easy to identify as being mine. Show us your TBR pile. About that, you're kind of looking at it. I've read some of these, not all. darn you, book outlet. So I kind of have the mix. I don't necessarily have a pile. I have this in the ways that best fit on my bookshelves. As you can see, these bookshelves are a little bit taller than me. They are full to the way down. Not all of them have been read. I do have a shelf that is primarily manga and paperback books. And then I have a little bit more decorative shelf down that way. And that has some of my more collector-ish books. It's a lot, and I guess you can say it's another reason I'm joining BookTube, to make myself accountable for all the books I have and get motivated to reading. Hopefully, if I find books that other people are interested in that I have, we can discuss, and it'll make me more motivated to finish off so many books. But yes, I do have a ridiculous TBR to be read in general. It's a little bad. Which do you prefer? Hardcover or paperback? I am definitely, if you can't tell from the shelves, primarily a hardback or hardcover book person. It's not just aesthetic for me, it's also out of habit. I think I can almost make a video on why, but summary, like I mentioned earlier, I did grow up in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico's an island that's primarily rainforest. Rains a lot. Humidity levels are ridiculous. Paperback books, even if you haven't even touched them, will start to curl. I know that some people find that very attractive. It's their aesthetic. It is not mine. I prefer my books to kind of stay flat and look relatively well kept versus being beat up. But like I said, that can be a whole other video. Let me know down below if that's something you're interested in me going over. Physical or ebook? Double-sided answer for this. As far as just for purely reading purposes on novels, I do very much prefer physical books. As far as graphic novel / manga, that's interchangeable. I'm kind of a moody person in that sense. I can do both. Neither really bugs me. I do prefer to own them physically, but as far as just first time around reading, kind of goes either way. Now, as far as if I'm going to be self-teaching myself something, or it's a technical book, those I do prefer ebook. I learned this from first few semesters in college when I had the option of having a physical book versus an ebook. Obviously cheaper, and it was just easier for me to self-teach myself, highlight, put them in a Word document. It was easier for me to study. So it's kind of a mix of all those. And the borrowing or owning. I do like to own my books. That's what I choose to spend my money on, as among other little things. But I'm not against borrowing. I do know there is a small library somewhere in my vicinity. I have yet to find it. I haven't necessarily looked that hard. How did you discover BookTube? This is going to be a weird answer compared to some of the other ones I found. A while back, I was toying with the idea of going to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter in Orlando, and I noticed that there was such a thing as haul videos. Started watching those to kind of get an idea of pricing. Was it worth buying things there versus getting them online? And I'm pretty sure a few of the people who were doing those videos were actually booktubers. So then I would just kind of pop up in my recommended. A couple of booktubers that I've started to follow from that was Super Space Chick. I got into a Book Utopia. I got into the Book Hoarder. I got into A Dash of Ash, although she was kind of later on once I got into BookTube as far as being a viewer. But that's kind of how I got into it. Started off as searching ideas for, do I want to go to this park and buy things there? And then I just kind of got into this whole thing of finding a whole separate fandom section for books, which I need in my life. What challenge do you think you will face? Biggest one is getting comfortable in front of a camera. I'm most comfortable in front of a camera when I'm in full-blown cosplay, because it's not me they're taking pictures of, if that makes any sense. So I have to get used to not just being on camera, but being comfortable and filming and getting into that habit. Not to mention which, I do work full-time, and pretty much only full free time I have is on the weekends, and that's, you know, mixed up with groceries and, you know, fixing up a house and all that. So a lot of it is going to be timing. In an ideal world, my tentative goal is to try and put a video once a week. I don't know if that's feasible. We're going to try and find out. I'll let you know if that changes. Give me the first month to get settled in, but I am hoping to eventually be able to do one maybe more videos a week, but we're starting off with one. Where to find you? Right here. The only other real place I'm active social media wise in regards to this channel would be Goodreads. I will leave a link down below. It's pretty much the same name, Do You Even Geek. Eventually I'll probably set up an Instagram and all that happy jazz. But till then, we're just gonna wing it and start with those two and take baby steps. And that was the new to booktube tag. Like I said, I'm gonna link it down below if you guys want to try it out or see the original. And if you guys are interested in me doing the booktube newbie tag, I'd be more than happy to do it. Let me know what you guys are interested in seeing, and I'm more than happy to try and oblige. I do read mix of genres. I read manga, I read graphic novels, I am into anime, video gaming, so I think it'll be a good time. And see you in the next video.